Hi guys, it's DC Motorbike, and today we have a very special guest that just passed his A2 license. He wanna come to share with us a little bit tips and trick on how he passed the test. So here's the video.
Okay, so I'm here with Kristen, who is part of DC Motorbikes. Kristen wanted to ask me about my experience for the A2 Vietnamese driving test, didn't you? You wanted to ask all the questions?
Yes.
So this is what we're going to do. Literally yesterday, I passed my A2 driving test. For those of you who don't know, Vietnamese driving tests come in two incarnations, A1 and A2. A1 is for little bikes up to 175cc. A2 is for big bikes over 175cc. And as with any European, or I guess American or international driving test, there are two components. There is a written part and there is the practical part. Now, how many books do you have for me? How many books have you got for this practical part, or the written part?
We have two.
2 books. So, because clearly I'm not Vietnamese, you have to learn 450 questions translated from Vietnamese into English, and Kristen has those books. So basically 3 weeks of study, 3 weeks in this classroom with Kristen and Min, and I am fully prepared for my A2 driving test theory, which I took 2 weeks ago, and without being bragging too much, passed with 100%.
Yes.
But there is a sting in the tail because you have to do a practical test, and that practical test is simply driving around in a figure of 8. But what is the problem, Kristen? What is the problem with the figure of 8 driving test?
The bike is too crap.
Yeah. So I have been riding motorbikes in Vietnam for a year, manual motorbikes up to 175, and I think it's fair to say I can ride a motorbike. But when you go to the test centre, the bikes that you use are, as Kristen clearly states, crap. And you get one of 4 bikes, each of which is more crap than the other. Number 4 being one which really should have just been set fire to and cremated because it is really that bad. So practicing is exactly what you have to do to pass your A2 test. And now we're going to take you outside into the bright Vietnamese sunshine to show you exactly how I passed my Vietnamese driving test practical. Okay, so on to the practical test. The practical test, Kristen, is hard, isn't it? And
Very.
you have to practice. Anh phải luyện tập in Vietnamese. So start with this. This is a 250cc Yamaha, which, as you can see, is shiny and new. And brilliant for getting the figure of 8, but not representative of what we're going to get in the test day, is it? So what do we use now?
We use this one.
Take me through it. Show me this beautiful old bike. Yeah, so 300cc. This bought by Richard, and Richard is clever because he understands that when you get an old bike, and he's literally turned this bike into a bike as bad. It's very rare that you're going to find a bike shop that will actually try and make a bike worse, but in this case it's perfect. So this was used, detuned, steering adjusted, the throttle adjusted, and it drives like a pig, an absolute pig. And as such, I practiced on this for about 3 days, an hour a morning with Richard and Min and Kristen, and yesterday I passed my A2 driving test. So now I can go and complete my midlife crisis by buying a Harley Davidson, and Kristen and I are going to go around Vietnam. So there you go. DC Motorbikes, happy to do this for them because, yeah, they've got me from never having driven a motorbike through my A1, through my A2, and now, yeah, we're all good friends.
Now it's A2 license.
Yeah, lifetime license. So there you go. A little bit of explanation for all those of you who wanted to understand the process of getting a permanent A2 driving license in Vietnam. Hope you enjoyed this. Take care.